The night began quietly like most Fridays. I'd wrapped up work early, ordered takeout, and was halfway through a basketball game when my phone buzzed. A text from my wife, Claire. Flight got delayed, staying in Chicago. I frowned. She was supposed to be home tonight after her company's 3-day seminar. I typed back casually, all right, just get some rest. See you tomorrow. But something felt off. Maybe it was the way she phrased it. No explanation, no photo, no call, just a text. Claire always called when plans changed, especially delays. I leaned back, trying to shake off the unease, but it crept up my spine anyway. Out of habit, I opened Find My Phone, something we always kept active for emergencies. The little that should have been in Chicago wasn't. It was in Miami. I blinked, thinking maybe the app hadn't refreshed. Closed it, reopened, refreshed again. Still Miami. My chest tightened. Miami. She'd told me the seminar was in Chicago, even sent pictures from the conference hall earlier in the week. I sat frozen, staring at the screen as my thoughts spun out of control. Maybe she'd had a connecting flight. Maybe plans changed. But then, why lie? I called her. No answer. Tried again. Straight to voicemail. I sent message. Hey, just checking in. Everything okay? Double blue ticks. No reply. That's when I knew something was wrong. Not accidental, deliberate. I poured a drink, sat at the dining table, staring at our wedding photo on the wall. Her smile, once so certain and bright, now felt like a ghost. The Claire I knew wouldn't lie. Or maybe she would, and I just never caught it before. Hours passed. Around midnight, a message came. Sorry, phone died earlier. Just getting to the hotel now. I stared at it, glowing against the dark room. The timestamp showed Miami International. Still Miami. She was lying. I typed back slowly. How's Chicago weather treating you? Her reply came, cold and detached. I'll call you in the morning. My stomach sank. I could almost hear her fake laugh. The one she used whenever she didn't want to answer a direct question. I didn't reply. I screenshotted her location and saved it. Something inside me broke that night, not with anger, but with disbelief, the kind that doesn't shout or cry. It just sits, quietly watching everything you thought was real start to crumble. The next morning, sunlight poured through the blinds, but it didn't feel like morning. I hadn't slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I replayed her messages, her voice, her lies. At 8 a.m., I texted, "Good morning. How's the hotel breakfast?" 20 minutes later, didn't eat yet, heading to a meeting on a Saturday. My jaw tightened. Enough guessing. I called one of her coworkers, Sarah, someone I'd met at a few office events. "Hey, sorry to bother," I said lightly. "Did the Chicago seminar wrap up yesterday?" Pause. "Yeah, yesterday afternoon. Most of us flew back last night." "Claire too?" Pause. "I think so. She left with a different group." "Why?" "Just curious," I said, forcing a laugh. Hung up. I stared at my reflection in the blank TV screen. The truth was forming an ugly shape I couldn't unsee. Claire hadn't gone to Chicago. She'd gone to Miami with someone else. By noon, I called her again. This time, she picked up, tone too cheerful. "Hey, honey, sorry I missed your call last night. Everything okay?" I took a slow breath. "Yeah, fine. Just curious. How's Chicago?" Silence. Long silence. "What do you mean?" she finally said. I said quietly, "Because your location says otherwise." Her intake of breath was sharp, panic in her voice. "Wait, what? No, that must be a glitch. You know how those apps are." I didn't reply. I just listened as guilt seeped through her tone. Finally, she snapped, "Why are you tracking me? Don't you trust me?" I laughed bitterly. I did until last night. The call ended abruptly. Minutes later, text arrived. "I can explain. Please don't do anything stupid. I'll be home tomorrow." I didn't want explanations. I wanted the truth. If she wouldn't tell me, I'd find it myself. That night, I opened her laptop, still logged into her work email. My hands trembled as I scrolled. Then I saw it, a flight confirmation, Chicago to Miami, and a second passenger, Ethan Clark. Ethan Clark. The name hit me like a cold slap. I knew him, her old colleague from a previous firm. I remembered her laughter whenever she mentioned him. Now, seeing his name on the itinerary, something shifted. The email showed they booked the trip together, same dates, same return flight. Hotel reservations attached. One room, one bed. I shut the laptop, staring at the wall. The quiet in the house was unbearable. Every sound, the ticking clock, the wind brushing the window, felt amplified. My hand shook, not yet in anger, but heartbreak. How long had she been doing this? How long had I been the fool, believing her late nights, her extra meetings, her company dinners? By the next day, she was back. The sound of her suitcase rolling across the floor felt like thunder. "Hey," she said softly, standing in the doorway, sunglasses on, pretending everything was fine. "From Chicago?" I asked, expressionless. She froze. I could see the lie forming behind her lips, rehearsed words ready to spill. "Yes," she said finally. "From Chicago." I stood, handed her my phone. The screenshot of her Miami location filled the screen. Her eyes widened, then darted away. "Mark, it's not what you think." "Then what is it, Claire?" I interrupted, calm but cold. "Your flight, your hotel, your companion. Everything says Miami. Everything says Ethan." Her lips trembled. "It wasn't like that. We just needed to talk, clear things up. Professional. Supposed to be professional." I laughed bitterly. "You booked a king suite with your ex-colleague. You lied to me, Claire. Not once. Not by accident. Every step of the way." She said nothing. Tears filled her eyes, but I'd seen that act before, the one meant to soften me, make me forget. "Not this time. I want you out," I said quietly. She reached for my arm. "Please, Mark, I messed up. I didn't mean for it to go this far." I stepped back. "You didn't mean for me to find out? There's a difference." She sobbed. I turned away, numb. The woman who once promised forever had traded it for a few nights of deceit. As her footsteps faded down the hall, I knew one thing for certain. Whatever love I had for her died somewhere between Chicago and Miami. The end.